You know, like a lot of people, the only time I ever step foot inside a church anymore is for a wedding. It's a beautiful day for one. It's one of those old white steepled churches on a town green. Guests disembark from expensive cars. Cheeks are kissed, hands are shaken. Children playing by the fountain, their parents coax them towards the church steps. Inside the doors, the registry is signed, an altar server lights a candle. A handsome young groomsman escorts an elderly woman down the aisle. A minister adjusts his vestments, and a photographer checks her lenses. Now, the church is full now. People wave to one another, fanning themselves, chatting quietly. And suddenly,
in sickness and in health, to love and to honor, till death do us part. You have the ring?
Oh, sorry. I'm the best man.
By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Stop the music, hold on. What's wrong with this picture? I mean, the clothes fine, wedding gown, very nice. I mean, you see it yet? I'm sure you do. My best friend, Harold Schwab, is 49 years old. His blushing bride, Andrea, is 24. Need I say she is young enough to be his daughter? All right, let's just go to the reception. And that handsome young groomsman, that is my son, Dan Jr. And the woman that he is about to speak with is Harold's sister, Julia.
Friend of the bride or the groom?
Neither, darling, but somehow I got invited anyway.
I tried looking for you at the church, Aunt Julia. I didn't see you.
Well, I've seen your Uncle Harold get married before, darling. I didn't feel the need to do it again. Actually, I arrived late and watched from the back. When the minister got to the part about all my worldly goods I thee endow, I thought that the bridesmaids were all going to turn and do a cheer.
You know, here Uncle Harold is picking up the tab for all of this?
It's the new etiquette, sweetheart. When a man marries a bimbo half his age, he pays for the privilege by picking up the tab. Hi.
Hi there, nice to see you.
Yes, yes.
Now that is Sarah and Tom Houghton. They arrived late.
Are you planning on talking at all, or are you just gonna drink?
I'm talking.
Not to me. Hi!
You're the one pulling the silent treatment, Sarah. Hey there!
Hi.
I told you there'd be no parking close to the church.
I thought there'd be valet. Shoot me.
Oh, and sometimes wouldn't I like to?
And more often than not, you make that perfectly clear.
You made it! Hi!
Well, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go kiss the bride.
You already have.
I'm gonna do it again.
Tom, I just thought it would have been nice if we could have sat together at the church. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
My fault.
No, it's entirely mine. Thank goodness it was only half full.
It's no problem, really. How you doing, Mrs. Houghton? Dan Tilney. Dan and Lynn Tilney, my parents?
You're kidding. Little Dan who used to live up the block?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's been what, 5 or 6 years at least?
More like 10.
And look at you, you're all grown up, you're huge, you're really beautiful. And it's such a surprise to see you here. What have you been up to?
Well,
Yeah, we'll do that. Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, you too. You know, I have no idea who I was just talking to. I hate weddings. They're always running into people and then they ask you questions which you really have no interest in answering. How you doing? How have you been? And then they tell you how they've been and you have to sit there and listen and pretend to be interested. It's exhausting.
Don't tell me. You're wondering how long you have to stay until you can go home.
Linda, what are you doing here? This is my wife, Linda.
What? Just because we're divorced, I'm not invited to an old friend's wedding?
Ex-wife. Harold said you weren't coming.
Was it Harold who invited me? I've been telling everybody you did. Relax. I just came to see Rebecca.
Our daughter, Rebecca. I'm sorry.
Dan, when do you think she's gonna stop blaming me? All the diapers I cleaned, all the boo-boos I bandaged. I take up with a perfectly lovely lawyer and suddenly she won't talk to me.
Yeah, somehow I don't think it's Janet's profession that has her all bent out of shape.
And to think we raised our children to be open-minded.
How is Janet?
Fine, we're buying a townhouse.
Her kids talking to her?
Oh, don't you get bitter on me. What about you? Seen anyone yet?
No.
The child bride doesn't have any friends?
You know, I hadn't asked.
Well, you're passively attractive, relatively prosperous, no deviant personality that I know of. I'm sure once you put your mind to it, you'll be getting laid on a regular basis.
Linda, there was only one time in my entire life when I ever got laid on a regular basis.
Really? When was that?
When I met you. I'll talk to Rebecca.
Thanks. I'll call.
Did I mention that I hate weddings? Yeah, that's not true. I hate social gatherings of any kind.
Mom and Dad got divorced about a year ago.
Mom decided she was a lesbian.
Oh, well, that must have come as quite a shock to your dad.
I guess so. He's okay now. He and I are still at the house on Mercer Street. Rebecca's up in LA. She started her internship at UCLA Medical Center, pediatrics.
So you must be
I'm a junior at Georgetown in the fall.
Georgetown.
Yeah, a transfer. I did the last 2 years out states, which was great, but I figured it was time for a change. Or at least time for me to stop living at home. You still a stockbroker?
Good memory, yes. Yes,
Good,
I
we'll
am.
do that. Good, good. You get us the tea time. Ha! You dog, you. Sarah, where you been? I've been looking all over for you.
I've been right here the whole time.
How you doing, Mr. Hopton? Dan Tilney.
Huh?
Dan and Linda's son.
All right, yeah, Dan, look at you all grown up and stuff.
Dan was just telling me that he's working for a contractor over the summer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my dad says to help me appreciate money to work at something where I don't make any.
Oh,
He's full of it, but don't tell him I said so. Don't wander off again. We're out of here soon.
but we just got here.
Golf's on TV at 3.
Oh, of course.
Oh, and I'm on a plane to New York tomorrow. Good to see you, Dan. Be where I can find you.
This one's for those special cups.
I'm sexy and I know.
Hey, Mrs. Hopton, how about a dance with me?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, come on, it's one of the responsibilities of the groomsmen to make sure all the women in the wedding dance at least one dance.
No, it's not, but it should be. All right.
Hey, how's it going, bud?
Huh? Oh, fine. Yeah, hey, look, is that Sarah Houghton?
Huh? Yeah, I'm doing some venture capital stuff at Times. Still some miles left in that chassis, huh?
Yeah, we were neighbors. You know, Dan saw her in a bikini one day. It was like seeing Everest for the first time.
Oh, look at her, Dan. Just looking at her is a religious experience. She should be bronze like a work of art. Oh, she's keeping me young. I'm doing things. I am screwing more than you can believe. Gotta find one for you, bud.
Yeah, thanks, but I'll pass.
Okay, come on, come here. I'm gonna ask you something. You're walking down the street, you pass a woman. She thinks what when she sees you?
A woman? I don't think she thinks anything.
Exactly, and you know why she doesn't?
Do I want to?
You lost the warrior within, buddy boy.
The warrior.
The one within. The one that's in every man. The hunter, the fighter, the lover, huh?
You've been going to those weekend men's group gatherings again, haven't you, Harold?
Your warrior needs to learn to express himself again, Dan. He needs to ripple and flex. He needs to bang a drum. Wait, do you think I would have gotten anywhere with Andrea if I hadn't been working out with a personal trainer 3 times a week? Yeah. But I still am. I'm biking, jogging. Not only that, Andrea has me on a vegetarian diet supplemented by 17 vitamins and minerals a day.
Well, that's a lot.
That's nothing. 2 days a week, do yoga. I do 100 setups every night before bed. I drink 12 glasses of distilled water.
And I bet you're up at night peeing a lot, Harold.
Serious, Stan. My personal trainer 3 times a week. You'll feel good. Well, you'll look good. Chicks will dig you again.
Chicks, huh?
Julia will explain.
Julia.
Harold and I have been talking, Dan, and we both agree.
Well, that's a first.
It's time for you to start dating again. You don't go out, you don't socialize, we're worried about you.
I'm touched.
I am too. Now I have someone I would like you to meet. She is funny and successful and nice, and she's also recently divorced.
Julia, thought it'd be nice if you had one thing in common.
Do I detect sarcasm, Harold?
My sister and I agree you should date. We just don't agree on who. Julia, Dan doesn't need you to set him up on any dates.
Thank you, Harold.
He has me to do that.
Oh, please. Unlike some people, Dan doesn't want to end up dating some taxi dancer from Pomona.
Excuse me? Are you referring to Andrea?
Why would you ever think that?
Admit it, Julia. Finally admit it. You don't like her.
Well, like is such a strong word.
Funny, Julia. Real funny. You listen to her, Dan, you'll end up with some neurotic 50-year-old with a chip on her shoulder.
And if he listens to you, he'll end up with some stripper with hair extensions and a silicone brain.
You got a problem with that?
All right, look, both of you just stop. Okay, maybe I can make this easy. I don't need anyone to set me up with anyone. I can do this myself.
Dan, please.
Yeah, we're trying to be serious here, bud.
You're good with animals, not people. It's why you're a veterinarian.
Yeah, people you gotta talk to.
Well, I talk all the time. I'm talking right now, aren't I? And what I am saying is I am not interested. Who around here doesn't understand simple English?
There you are!
Don't you say a word. Honey, baby.
I should have known you'd be out here with the people you love. Woo! And now I love them too!
Looks like someone's had a little too much champagne.
I love you, Dan.
Okay.
I love you because Harold loves you. And Julia, I love you too. Even though Harold speaks badly of you, I love you very much. Oh, Julia! I wish you could have seen the look on your face when I was stuffing cake in Harold's mouth.
Stuffing something down Harold's throat. Oh, how I envied you.
Oh, don't be such a grumpy face. You might get married one day. There's hope. Harold! We need to get going! The helicopter's gonna pick us up in 20 minutes!
Lead the way, honey, baby! I love you guys. Be good.
See you in 2 minutes!
We'll continue this when I get back. Oh, wish me luck.
A helicopter?
Yeah, Andrea wanted to leave the wedding in a helicopter.
Please, it's Andrea.
So, and how come you never got married, Julia?
Would you believe me if I told you that the only man I ever loved got married before I could tell him how I felt about him?
No.
Why not?
Because, Julia, you have never met anyone in your entire life who you didn't immediately tell them exactly how you felt about them. Oh, hey, Beck, what's that?
I got the wedding bouquet! I'll be in touch.
Believe me, that was a bitch to tie the tin cans to. Weddings. I hate weddings. Yeah, I find weddings almost as disruptive as children. Especially adult children who you can't tell what to do anymore. Well, you can, but they don't listen. Actually, they never listen. It's just that young children you could, coerce with the threat of bodily harm.
Daddy, would you stop?
Oh, come on, honey. Your room is ready. Just get a good night's sleep. You can go back tomorrow.
It's not my room. I don't live here anymore. And besides, I have rounds tomorrow. I want to get back tonight.
At least have a cup of coffee.
Daddy, I know what you want to talk about, and I don't want to. You have to let Mom and me work it out ourselves.
It's not just your mom, Becky. You seem unhappy lately, like you're keeping everything inside.
Do you know what I deal with every single day? Sick children. I have a lot on my mind. Now I have to go. I love you.
She always was the perfect kid. By the time she was in the 6th grade, she had her whole life planned. Got through college in 3 years, med school in 2. As opposed to this kid. Yeah, well, I rest my case.
Dad. Hey, Dad.
Yeah, Dan, what is it?
I was talking to Mom at the wedding. And she was saying maybe I should start spending time with her, weekends and stuff. Now that they'll have an extra room for me now and everything.
What do you think about that?
Well, I head back east in a couple months. Who knows when I'll be back? Or how much I'll be seeing you guys or anything. Maybe I should see Mom while I still can, I think she kind of needs it. That is, if you don't mind.
No, I think that's a good idea.
Oh, well then. Thanks, Dad.
Good talk. To think there was a time when I wondered if I would ever get my life back again. I know you raise your kids to leave you, and then you have no idea what you're going to do with yourself once they're gone. You wonder how it came to this. You wonder how it is you ever found yourself here. You wonder.
Yeah, Julia. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Dad Skinos isn't out on vacation. His secretary called in sick, and I'm filling in.
And this is?
This is retired Admiral Biff Mackey's dog, Gus.
I know the Mackeys. What's the problem?
Swollen testicles. He's really proud of them and likes to show them off in front of Mrs. Mackey's bridge club.
And the dog?
He has fleas. Listen, I was just taking Gus out here for a walk. This is Dad's schedule. Bring him up to date, will you?
But I have...
Julia, what do you think you're doing here?
Being nosy.
Where's Dan?
A dog took him for a walk. All right, now pay attention. You have a heartworm patient in A, a dog that swallowed his tennis ball in B, and a cat in C that is scheduled to have his teeth cleaned. Oh, and your accountant called.
Ex-accountant.
You are scheduled to meet with the IRS people next Monday. You didn't tell me you were being audited.
Yeah, for good reason. Now, unless you want to help me clean the cat's teeth in C, I'm busy.
All right, now listen.
I'm busy, Julia.
I've made reservations for 2 at Cicero's on Saturday night under your name, 7:30, and I want no guff.
Julia, I thought we said we weren't doing this.
Who said anything about us? You can pick Anne up at her house, which is not too far from yours.
Oh, Is that her name? Anne.
Oh, quiet. Or you can meet her at the restaurant. Your choice.
Well, thank you for leaving me one.
Oh, Dan, stop it. We're not talking about falling in love. We're talking about some company. We're talking about going somewhere else other than the office. Fighting the loneliness, that's all.
You don't.
You need someone, Dan. You always have. I don't.
All right, tell Anne I'll pick her up.
I already have. And you're welcome.
I didn't say thanks.
Yes, but you will.
So, following Saturday night with Dan Jr. off to visit with his mother, I found myself walking up to a strange house in a strange neighborhood, in a strange city, in a strange country, on a strange planet, accompanied by my stomach, which was strangely sick with nerves.
Hello?
Julia, what are you doing here?
I'm afraid we are having a crisis of confidence. Wants to go.
Oh, that's too bad.
But don't worry, she will if I tag along.
Julia.
Listen, I'll just help break the ice and then find a good time to duck out.
Julia, this is not going to be a good time. I don't want to do this.
Don't be silly. You'll both get to know each other. It'll be fine.
I'm ready.
Yo.
Annie, darling, you seem to be dressed for a hurricane.
Well, the Weather Channel said something about a front.
A front. Did you happen to notice a front?
No. All clear. No front.
Oh, well, I guess I don't need all this then, do I?
I think not.
Okay. I got it.
Well, probably stuck in the.
Well, the umbrella maybe.
Material.
It's okay. I got it.
Well, you know, if you let go of the umbrella.
It's okay, I got it. We should, just go.
Yes, why don't we? I will meet you both at the restaurant.
No! I mean, couldn't we all just take the same car?
Yes, we could do that. I will catch a cab when we get to the restaurant.
Don't you dare.
Rough. And bon voyage, I say. Any trouble finding the place, Daniel?
Nope. Good directions.
Actually, Dan doesn't live too far from here.
Oh, really?
He's over at Mercer. You two are practically neighbors. Actually, I'm surprised you've never met. Well, how you have?
There's no way this was going to get any worse.
I really should have warned you about that stop sign. No one ever sees it.
Don't be silly, darling. Dan should have pulled over before we helped you look for your contact.
I wonder what's taking him so long.
Oh, he's probably checking out my criminal record.
Oh, do you have one?
Oh, I believe Dan was just joking, darling.
Of course. So Dan, Julia says you're a vegetarian.
But what? No.
But Julia,
What I said, darling, is that Dan is a veterinarian.
Oh, a veterinarian.
Yes. Yes.
That's lovely.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
I love animals.
Oh, good. Do you have any pets?
No.
Oh.
No, I should.
Oh, there are no shoulds, darling.
No, but we had a rabbit once. The kind with the floppy ears.
A lop.
Yes! Yes! And this one time, he was sitting in the driveway, just, sitting. And my daughter had just gotten her driver's permit, and she was practicing. And, well, she ran over the rabbit.
Oh, no!
Yes! And here's the thing. She was on one of those ride-around lawnmowers.
Oh, dear God!
I know! It was terrible! Bunny everywhere! And I don't know why I'm laughing. It really affected our family. And we decided not to get another pet for a while. The rabbit was not a success.
Sign where, officer? Here? Yeah, right. Oh, yes, officer. I will keep my eyes open from now on. Yes, I will certainly try to do that. Oh, no, thank you, officer. Right, goodbye.
But he seemed nice.
Oh, this is the night. It's a beautiful night, and we call it the Valley.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yes, may I help you?
Yes. Again, we have a reservation.
And you are?
Tilney.
Oh, Tilney. Oh. Well, your table's not quite ready. Perhaps if you could find a seat in the bar?
We've been in the bar for 40 minutes now, and there are no seats.
Well, I'm afraid we're rather busy tonight. Wow, busy to you?
Hello, Anthony.
Why, it's been ages. You're all together?
Yes, 3, please.
Yes, of course. Oh, no, that won't do. Oh, but that would do quite nicely. Right this way, please.
Been here before?
Don't get all huffy now. Wine list, yes.
There you are. So very sorry to keep you waiting, and now perhaps something from the bar?
Oh, I don't think so.
Of course she will. What is good for nerves, Anthony?
Oh, for nerves, I always recommend a double vodka martini with a twist. Straight up, always.
She'll have one of those. I will too.
3.
All right, now let's have a wonderful dinner, shall we?
Anne, is that you?
Roger!
Sandra and I just came in for some dinner and we saw you. Hello there.
Oh, sorry, Roger. This is Doug. Dan. And Julia, this is Roger.
Dan, Julia, Sandra.
Won't you two please join us?
No!
Thanks, but we're meeting some people. We're over there. Perhaps another time. Well, we'll let you get on with your evening. Just wanted to say hello. You're looking great, Anne.
Thanks. You too.
Well, now, Dan, if I were you, I'd be jealous. A friend?
No.
Neighbor?
I'd move.
Must be a relative then.
Pretty girl he was with.
He was my ex-husband.
Oh, no.
And that couple they're meeting are my ex-best friends.
Oh, dear God.
Always go somewhere else if you like.
No, we'd probably just run into someone else there.
So, Anne, well, where is it you know Julia from?
Oh, we spin together.
Spin?
You know, the bike thing.
Oh, right, yeah, right, the bike thing, yeah, right. Yeah, for a minute there, I thought you meant the flax into thread thing.
Dan, funny!
No, it's pathetic. A herd of middle-aged women in leotards pumping away on these silly bicycles while some little health Nazi in a sweatband screams at us? All these women beating themselves up! And for what? For that? For this?
Annie, darling, are you all right? Well, you don't seem all right.
I'm fine.
Excuse me, the gentleman who just stopped by sends it over with his compliments. What did you do?
She tried everything, Dan. Everything. I know this for a fact, but it didn't matter because in the end, he wanted something else. Very cheap.
I'll call!
Love hurts. Love scars. Love wounds.
Tom, look at that moon.
You ever talk to the yard people about what's wrong with the lawn?
They asked if you turned the water off last time it rained.
Sure I did. So? Water costs money.
Well, you forgot to turn it back on. Tom, what if we built a pergola in the backyard? You know, wood beams, grapevines. Remember the one at that old farmhouse we rented in France? We used to sit out there and drink wine and talk and... Remember? What do you think?
I don't see why you should care about grapevines when you can't remember to tell me when the water's turned off on the lawn. I'm in New York this week.
Local IRS office. Even the portraits on the wall are intimidating. Oh, these are my financial records. Oh yeah, I'm ready for this.
Mr. Tilney? I'm Charlotte Walker.
Hi, how do you do?
I'm fine, thanks. If you'll take a seat, we'll get you started.
Okay.
I take it your accountant's not with you?
Last I heard, my accountant moved to Mexico.
Yeah, well, with the way he messed up your tax return, it should be on a permanent basis. Would you like some coffee?
No, thank you. My stomach's already a little...
I understand. Getting audited is no fun.
Just between us, is this auditor a decent guy, or is he one of those sadistic bastards who gets his thrills out of harassing people?
Well, he's not a sadist, and he's not a he. He's me.
Oh, sorry, I thought...
That's all right, it's what people usually think. Do you have your financial records?
Yes, right here.
Oh, you are organized.
Yeah, well, my wife used to take care of this sort of thing. Yeah, we were divorced a year ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, what we're going to do is go through your records and your return, which I have right here. I'm just going to ask you some questions. Just answer them as best you can. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me.
I won't.
Good.
Mrs. Hopton? Mrs. Hopton! Hey, it's me, Dan Tilney.
Well, of course it is. Hi, Dan. Hi.
Saw you from across the lot over there. How you doing?
I'm good. What are you doing here?
Me and some of the guys on the crew hitting up Subway for lunch.
Oh, me too. I mean, my lunch canceled. I was catching up on some shopping.
Cool.
You're all sweaty.
Yeah, well, we've been working.
In the sun, obviously, because you have a very nice tan.
You need some help?
Nope, my car's parked just over here.
Sarah H.
What?
Your license plate says Sarah H.
Oh, right, that's embarrassing. It was a birthday gift from Tom.
The car?
No, the plates. Just the plates. You've got good eyes.
Yeah, well, you know, youth. Everything works.
Well, it was nice seeing you again, Dan.
You too.
Dan, wait. I was wondering if I could ask your advice on something.
Yeah, sure.
Well, not so much advice, as there was some work we were thinking of having done around the house, Tom and I. And we were wondering if you, I mean your contractor, that is, had any hours available?
Well, how big a job are you talking about?
Not big, just a pergola. That's an arbor, sort of.
It's allows us work for vines, right?
Right.
It's a little small for the type of work we do, Mrs. Hopton. Oh, but I can do it, if you don't mind weekends.
No, I'm gonna have to check with Tom first.
Why don't I come by Saturday morning?
I think we're free Saturday.
I'll see you Saturday then.
Saturday it is.
See ya.
Bye. Oh, get a fucking grip.
Still breathing?
Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
And you don't have to pay all this at once, so we can put you on a schedule.
Oh, no, I prefer to get this out of the way.
Oh, must be nice. Ready for that coffee now?
No, thank you. Actually, if this is all...
It is?
Okay, I'll just be going then. And I will take care of this right away.
Well, if you don't, we know where to find you.
What, you do?
Oh, well, we have your address. Also, you're Rebecca Tilney's father.
What? You know Rebecca?
Oh, we were cheerleaders together in high school.
You went to high school with Rebecca?
She was a senior, I was a junior. I hear she's in med school now.
Yeah, finishing, yeah.
Well, she's always smart.
Well, as you can see from my tax return, she doesn't get that from me. So, a year younger than Rebecca, that makes you...
I'm 25.
Oh, that's a nice age.
Hey, you want to grab some lunch?
Lunch?
Well, I don't have another appointment till 2. We could grab a quick bite. That is, unless you have to run.
No. No, lunch would be, yeah, lunch would be great.
Cool.
What, I had to eat. This little place down on the wharf, we ordered a fish sandwich, crab roll, an order of onion rings. Oh, Charlotte did. I had the diet tuna plate with the rye crisps on the side. With 2 iced teas, it came to all of $16.50, but then it became really cheap because...
This one's on me. You're already out enough money today.
So, tell me, what's
A nice girl like me doing working for the IRS?
Yeah, exactly that.
Well, I was an accounting major in college and they offered me a job. The salary's good and the benefits are great. The only problem is people treat you like you're a dentist.
Yeah, well, dentist uses Novocaine. So, what do you do when you're...
Not putting people away for 20 years.
You get asked this all the time, don't you?
Constantly. I sing.
What?
I sing when I'm not putting people away. My friends and I started a band. I like to tell people that I got into accounting because I wanted something I could count on. Music's what I really love.
Well, that's great.
Number 27.
Oh, that's us. See if you can find us a place to sit outside.
It was so easy. I mean, she did all the talking. All I had to do was sit there, nod, and smile. We threw French fries to the seagulls. No, I spilled ketchup on my shirt. She wiped it off with a napkin. Very sweet. We walked back from the wharf together, and it was like one of those television commercials, you know, where the girl has bouncy hair and whiter teeth, and she was with me.
See, the thing that's so cool about music is the way it touches the listener. Not so much on a lyrical level, although lyrics can be a very profound thing, but on an emotional, almost telepathic level. I mean, sometimes you don't even understand the words and they can still say everything to you. They can shake you up, change your life, and you should stop me before I hurt someone.
No, this has been, I've enjoyed this.
You're funny.
And you're late.
This has been nice.
Yeah, it has. So anyway,
Hey, do you have plans Friday?
What?
The band and I have a gig at the beach Friday. If you wanted to come, we could grab a drink or a bite to eat after.
Charlotte, are you asking me out?
Well, it didn't look like you were going to. And I really do have to get back upstairs. And the only downside is you'll have to hear me sing.
No, I would like very much to hear you sing.
Cool. Here's my home number. Call me. We'll work out the details.
Okay, I was as surprised as you are. I mean, I don't consider myself a bad-looking guy. I mean, let's face it. I know I'm not. Fill in the blank. And to be perfectly honest with you, as much as I enjoyed my time with her, I never really allowed myself to think of her in that way. Yeah, okay, I'm full of it. She was gorgeous and personable and sexy, and when she smiled at me, I could feel it all the way down to my toes. Let's be honest, my toes hadn't felt much of anything in a long time. Oh, I almost forgot.
I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is freaking awesome. Walking to the club like, what up? I'm such a big shot. I'm so pumped. Swag from the thrift shop, ice on the fringe. It's so damn frosty that people like, damn, that's a cold ass honky. Rolling hella deep, heading to the mezzanine. Dressed on pink, set my gator shoes, those are green. Draped in a leopard mink, girl standing next to me. Probably should've washed this, cause it smells like R. Kelly sheets. Bag it.
There are matching tops.
Oh, no.
That is if you're interested.
No, I just haven't been here for a while, and I thought I would drop in.
Hasn't changed much.
I know. Also, I wanted to find out if your friend was okay from the other night.
She is terribly embarrassed, but she'll be fine. You know, I think I owe you an apology.
Me? Why?
It's just that I don't really know Anne all that well, just that she is very nice and also recently divorced, and I think I might have jumped the gun. It's just that I really want to see you happy, Dan.
You know, Julia, I was pretty devastated when Linda left me.
I know.
I mean, not so much the leaving. I mean, I believe that every individual has the right to pursue their own happiness. It's just that by leaving, she put me in this position where I didn't know what was going to replace what had been a given in my life, that I was a married man. I think I've just been pretending that nothing has changed and I'm still married. Well, I'm not, am I? Things have changed.
So, I should keep trying to set you up?
No. Harold should.
Go away, you.
Thank you, Julian.
Thanks for stopping by.
Now imagine, if you will, the perfect dawn. You know, the sun is just beginning to peek over the horizon. The birds have begun their morning songs. It's one of those rare moments when your bed feels like a warm cocoon, and another hour of sleep is just a blissful sigh away. And then downstairs the doorbell rings. You're suddenly wide awake and wondering who in the hell has the nerve to bother you. Harold, it is 6 o'clock in the morning.
Rise and shine, rise and shine. I'm home from the honeymoon and I'm feeling so fine.
Harold, what are those things on your body?
This is an advanced ergonomic fluid distribution system, Dan. 6 liters of energy-sustaining glucose, amino acids, and complex carbohydrates upon demand.
What's in them?
Hawaiian Punch.
And the hat?
Blocks out the sun's ultraviolet rays. The aging process, especially around the neck and eyes, is slowed down. And at some point, reversed completely.
You know, somehow I doubt anyone is looking at your neck or eyes, Harold.
So how'd the big date go?
You said I went on a date.
Who set up the date?
Oh, what did you do? Call your sister the minute you got home?
Who waited till we got home? So come on, how did it go?
Her ex-husband sent over a very nice bottle of wine.
There you see. That's why you need a younger woman, bud. There's no emotional baggage. They're a blank slate. Raw clay, waiting to be molded by an experienced artist.
You know, as a matter of fact, Harold, I have met a younger woman.
What? Where?
The Internal Revenue Service. I was being audited.
Some guys have all the luck. And did you ask her out?
As a matter of fact, she asked me.
Fuck you. You aren't kidding. Do you have any idea what I had to do to get Andrea to go out with me?
Yeah, as I remember, you offered to fly her first class to Maui.
That was the second date? The first date, I just promised to pay her rent.
And I'm sure it's worth
it. So when are you going out with this hot young chick?
I am seeing this young lady tonight.
Oh, you are not going jogging, buddy boy. You need to conserve your strength.
I was never going jogging, Harold. As soon as you leave, I'm going back to bed.
Okay, but do me a favor. You're gonna date a teenager. Buy some clothes that don't make you look like a 50-year-old.
I am a 50-year-old.
Not after tonight, you're not. Call me when you get home.
And she's not a teenager. Okay, I'm not quite 50. It's a fine line, I know, but one that is well worth preserving. However, that night, with Harold's words ringing in my ears, and a towel around my thickening waist, I found myself staring into the mirror. And what I saw did not inspire confidence. I applied deodorant. The same deodorant I'd used for 30 years now smelled of senility. I trimmed my nose and ear hairs, which have sprouted like an Amazon rainforest over the course of the day. I combed my hair. I combed it back, forward, part down the middle. This wasn't any good. Using my son's gel, I tried a spike or two. I was not encouraged. I got dressed in what I come to think of as my uniform. Button-down collar shirt, khaki pants, loafers. Yeah, just drop them. Thanks. This wasn't right. I tried a sweater over the shirt. Oh, this still wasn't any good. I tried a blazer over the sweater. Oh, this is just getting worse. Finally, wearing nothing but my underwear, I ventured down the hall to the vast wasteland that is my son's bedroom. And heading straight for his closet, I found at my disposal not only a veritable garbage heap of things that no one in their right mind should ever wear, but also an old issue of Playboy. And the remains of a month-old peanut butter sandwich. Well, after flipping through the Playboy, for the articles, I dressed in, I don't know, something. And as I did, I found myself blaming Harold. And not for the first time wondering what he was up to tonight.
Oh, Scorsese, dear friend. Truffaut, mon ami. Kurosawa? Linda, what are you doing here?
Just movies.
Yeah, what are you getting?
Cinema Paradiso, Macabre Mrs. Miller, and for sentimental reason, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown.
Wow, those are good movies. I love those movies.
Yeah, well, Janet and I aren't sure what we're in the mood for yet. Whatever goes with dry Chablis and Chinese.
Chinese?
Szechuan beef, chicken and walnuts, cold sesame noodles. We always get too much, but we like to eat it for breakfast. So, what movies are you getting?
Me? Oh,
Harold, they do too have it! Pretty woman. Oh, check us out. Hi!
Have a nice evening, Harold.
Robert Altman and cold sesame noodles?
Hold on a second. Yeah, I can remember seeing the Stones for the first time on the old Ed Sullivan show. I was, 8? Maybe? I mean, my dad was even younger than I am now. God, how the hell old does that make Mick Jagger?
There you are. Oh. I thought I saw you in the audience.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I had an accident on my way here.
With your car?
No, with my clothes.
Look at you. You look great.
Oh, so do you. And one of us is not lying.
I'm so glad you made it.
Oh, yeah, me too. You know, you were something else up there.
No.
No, you were, even with the feedback.
Well, what we'd really like to do is tour someday. For the experience, if nothing else. That would be so cool.
You should then.
Do you think so? Because I'd love your advice.
You would?
Well, you're a successful man with a lot of life experience, and I respect what you have to say.
Okay, I was so used to dealing with my own children, I had no idea how to respond to that.
So, do you want to grab some food or a drink, some coffee?
Only if it's on me this time.
Or we could go back to my place.
Oh, we could do that.
Cool. Come on. have a bottle of wine, and there's a beer in the fridge. And I have a bottle of 25-year-old single malt scotch.
Really?
It started out as an affectation, now it's a weakness.
A glass of wine will be fine.
Cool. Here we go. Excuse the glasses.
Oh, no, the strawberry jam jars are my favorite.
Cheers.
That's a good year.
I think there's still some enamel left on your teeth.
Yeah, it's the garage band of wines. Oh, this is an interesting place you've got here.
It's the Robert De Niro from Heat look.
Heat?
Heat? The movie? Oh, De Niro plays this really cool character who says you should never get attached to anything you can't walk out the door on and leave in 30 seconds. Of course, he was a criminal. But it's my belief that people in their 20s should live with criminal intent. Or at least pretend to. I'm kidding.
Oh. Cool.
I think it's only fair to warn you. I find you very attractive.
And I find that very surprising.
Well, I like the salt and pepper.
Yeah, I season it before I go out.
And these little lines.
Yeah, gifts from my children. You know, they're your age. Deal breaker.
Dan, you don't have to be nervous.
Charlotte, wait, stop. I think it's only fair to warn you that I have not been with a woman other than my wife in over 25 years. I mean, I haven't even so much as kissed another woman in your lifetime. I have...
Not so difficult, is it?
It wasn't difficult at all. It was Christmas. It was home runs in the ninth. It was like winning the lottery. Yeah, that's what it was. Twice. I am going to ask you a question which you do not have to answer. Have you ever slept with a guy my age before?
Yes. Oh, but it wasn't like this.
This was okay?
What do you think?
What was it that you liked best?
I liked the way you looked at me. I liked the way you touched me. I liked that I feel very, very safe with you. You know, you used to come to all the high school football games, but you never watched the game. You always watched Rebecca. We used to laugh about it, but I thought it was so great that anyone could love someone so much.
Didn't your father come to the games?
Oh, my parents split up when I was a kid. I haven't seen my father in ages. That's probably why I'm so totally and completely fixated on you.
Yeah, I was a little taken back by that. But still... Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, shoot me. But I had just slept with a beautiful 25-year-old girl. I mean, I felt elated. Well, I felt misgivings. I mean, I wondered now what she would expect of me, and I wondered when I would get to do it again. Which, when it comes right down to it, is exactly how I felt when I was 25. Call it retribution, but when I got home the next morning, my house was being emptied of furniture. Hey, wait, what are you doing? Hold on.
Dan,
That's not. Stop, wait.
It is. Hi, I tried calling. You didn't answer.
Linda, what's going on here? What are you doing?
I came by to pick up my furniture.
What do you mean, your furniture?
Don't you remember? We agreed that I could come by, pick up my favorite pieces once I had room. Well, I do now.
Well, that was over a year ago.
Oh, we had a time limit?
Yeah, well, no, but...
So now you can go out and buy new things. What are you wearing?
What?
Those aren't your clothes.
Yes, they are.
No, Dan, they're not. You're just now getting home, aren't you?
No.
You went out last night, didn't you? Did you get lucky?
None of your business. And I don't want new things. I like these things.
Oh, no, you don't. You just don't like change. So, who is that lucky girl? Is she cute?
Oh, Linda.
What? We're not married anymore, Dan. You're allowed.
Oh no, Linda, can't I at least keep the couch?
Oh, you had a fit when I bought that couch.
But that was years ago. I'm used to it now.
Well, you will have to get unused to it. You know, whatever you do, don't consider redecorating without the help of a professional. You know, you might want to move. This place is way too big for one person. Go get him, tiger.
Yes, hello?
Oh, thank goodness. Dan, it's Julia. I was on my way back from the grocery store and a car hit a dog. And the bastards didn't even stop, and I think his leg is broken.
Does it have a tag?
No, the poor thing is thin and ragged, and he smells like he's been eating from trash cans for weeks.
Okay, where are you?
Muirlands and Scenic.
I will be right there, and whatever you do, Julia, don't touch him. Sometimes when an animal is frightened or injured, it bites.
Oh, Dan, please. He's already in my car.
I was thinking it could go over here.
Yeah, I can see it. River posts there, there, there. Beams are sets every 2 feet for the vines. You can put plantings there. Cool. Was this your idea?
Oh, and Tom's. In fact, we should probably wait for him. He has such a vision of all this.
What time is the plane getting?
Not sure. He missed his flight out of New York last night. He was supposed to catch an earlier flight this morning, if you don't want to wait.
No, tell you what. Why don't we draw something up and have something on paper when he gets here?
All right. Excuse me.
Hi, it's me.
Where are you?
Still in New York. The car was late and there was a traffic jam on the way to the airport.
Are you getting on a later plane?
Nah, I have to be back Tuesday. It seems pointless. I looked at some tickets to a Broadway show, something, I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
So look, I'll be at the hotel and I'll call you later tonight.
Fine.
Love you.
What do you think? Something like this?
That's it exactly.
It's a really good idea.
So as soon as Mr. Hoppy gets here, I guess we'll show it to him and I'll
You
be out
know,
of here.
I wouldn't wait for him. That was him on the phone just now.
Oh?
He missed his flight again, and he has to be back there Tuesday, so it's really pointless for him to, shit. It's all just shit.
Is this about the phone call? I'm sorry.
What happened to him?
Well, I'm not sure, but at least there are no internal injuries. And there's breaks here and here. Lucky this one didn't puncture the lung. Now, the leg is pretty bad. We'll just have to wait and see. You know, Julia, a lot of people wouldn't have stopped.
Of course they would.
Yeah, well, they didn't. You did. Julia, you probably shouldn't wait around. This might take a while.
Dan, would it be all right if I helped?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Come on.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be, dream a little dream of me.
And here we have, ta-da, guess which one's me?
The fat one with the glasses.
No. This one's me.
Wow, you were a babe.
Yeah, I was a real babe. Tom, he was a babe too.
Guys can't be babes.
Oh, you have no idea. You're a babe.
Come on.
You are. You should be illegal. Matter of fact, you probably are. My sister, Connie, her and her husband live in Seattle, have 4 beautiful kids.
How about you? How come you never had kids?
Well, when we were younger, we decided to wait. We had our careers, we liked to travel, and then we did try, and nothing happened, so we tried harder. It was almost funny. Once, Tom got stuck in traffic with the sperm sample that had to be back in the hospital by a certain time, so he abandoned the car, flagged down a cop who took him the rest of the way on his motorcycle, and he made it. But it didn't work, so mostly it was sad. We waited too long. Oh, you're kidding me again?
If you don't want to.
Oh, I want to. Believe me, I want to.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
Well, it's a little early to say for sure, but I think he's gonna be okay.
Oh, what will happen to him?
Well, he's obviously a stray, so as soon as he's well enough, I'll send him to the shelter and they'll try to find him a home.
And if they don't?
They'll put him to sleep.
Oh, I want him.
Are you sure, Julia? He's gonna be a pretty big dog.
Oh, he needs me.
Well, he's yours then.
Oh shit, Dan!
What?
My groceries have been sitting in that car for the last 3 hours.
Ugh, perishables?
Yeah, let's just Put it this way, what are you doing for dinner? Because I now have several breasts of chicken that are very thawed.
You've got to be very careful the way you thaw poultry, Julia.
Oh, Dad, stop. You can't cook water. Now, come along. I'll make you pesto.
I love pesto.
I know.
So I went home, and I showered. It changed, and it never once occurred to me that my hair wasn't quite right or my clothes weren't stylish enough. It just was.
Here we are. It's a small winery near Santa Barbara. Friends of mine own it.
We've all had some pretty good times in here, haven't we, Julia?
We have.
I've always liked this place. The way it looks, how it feels, what you've done with it.
It's what I do. Speaking of which, I understand your house is a little empty these days.
Yeah, Linda left me with a chair, a card table, and an antique set of golf clubs. It's not bad, actually.
I swear, Dan. If it wasn't for a woman, men would be living on beach furniture.
Julia, Linda used to wonder why you and I never got together.
Really? Why?
Well, we had so much in common. We seemed compatible. I thought you were sexy.
You did not.
Oh, you are.
So, what did you tell her?
That we were friends. Had been for as long as I can remember.
I'd never want anything to change that. Right, I'll get a little pasta water on and a salad going and we'll be good to go.
Like everything else that she did, Julia was a brilliant cook. And after dinner, we sat in front of the fire with coffee and dessert. Easy conversation continuing. The evening just went by so fast.
Is it that late?
Yeah, time flies. Are you happy, Julia?
Of course. Why do you ask?
I was just wondering.
I choose to be happy. It's as simple as that. Are you happy, Dad?
I'm getting there.
I think so too.
I really should be going. Oh, about the dog. Why don't you give me a call, say middle of next week sometime? He should be well enough to bring home by then. That is, if you still want him.
Oh, I do. And by the way, I haven't given up yet. I am still going to find you someone.
Oh, yeah, I probably should have mentioned something. I'm sort of seeing someone now.
Oh. That's wonderful. I'd like to meet her.
Well, it's nothing serious yet, but you will. Hey, Julia, do you think maybe you could swing by sometime, check out the house, and, I don't know, maybe give me some suggestions?
It's what I do.
Well, I'd expect to pay you for it.
That makes two of us.
Okay, good. And yeah, we'll do that then.
Good night, Dan.
Good night. And I don't know why, but suddenly, for the life of me, I felt guilty.
Hey there, handsome.
Wow, what are you doing here?
Waiting for you. Oh, now I sound like one of those Glenn Close Fatal Attraction types. Waiting for you under your window, knife in hand, hair and face.
No, hardly, but you should have called.
Well, then you might have said you were busy.
What's this?
A 6-pack. You seemed like a Heineken kind of guy to me. So, invite me in.
Yeah, you can come in, but it's a little late for me to be drinking beer.
That's okay. I hate beer.
The room is soft light and shadow. I lie in bed under a sheet, looking at Charlotte. She stands nude by the window, looking out at the moon. Oh, Harold is right. Just looking at her is a religious experience.
I see him staring at me again, and I have to smile. It's a compliment, in a way. It's like he can't believe it. Well, that makes 2 of us.
He invites me over one afternoon and shows me his empty living room. He's not sure, but he seems to think that a couch might help.
I'm in the living room watching television. Sarah's in the kitchen, I think. I don't know what she's doing. I haven't for a long time now.
I sneak out the front door. It's dark out. I race across the lawn and into
My arms. She kisses me. We collapse onto the grass.
I've been looking forward to this
To you.
all day.
I'm watching a Seinfeld rerun and I suddenly remember something. I get up, I go downstairs, go into the basement, and turn on the water sprinkler.
I could never admit it, not even to myself, but I've always known what I was, and it terrified me. With Dan, it was so easy to pretend. We had this lovely home, beautiful children. We were the perfect family. But there was always an unspoken part of me that Dan could never touch. A sad place. Sad for him. Sad for me.
We're at a party downtown. Quite the do. A lot of successful older guys, a lot of trophy wives and girlfriends. I talk to the guys about the usual, the economy, the Middle East, the giants. I go out onto the patio to join Andrea and the other hood ornaments of God. And they are having a fascinating conversation about Botox injections and Giovanni Versace. These bacon-wrapped scallops are good.
If our relationship can survive all the things he thinks I know nothing about, it can survive anything. Somewhere along the lines, he decided he was supposed to be my teacher. Well, I have a thing or two to teach him.
I'm standing by the buffet counter, trying to sneak a coconut shrimp, when she comes up to me, grabs me by the arm, drags me down the hall towards the bathroom, locks the bathroom door, unzips my pants, and... oh, I think I wrenched my back. Oh.
You be Tarzan, and I'll be Jane, and we'll swing through the jungle!
I'm in the middle of Times crossword when he calls, and do I want to go to an estate sale? I do. Fine, so we go. At my recommendation, he buys a very nice side table. He seems hesitant, a little nervous, and I'm not sure if it's me or the act of acquiring a worthwhile possession. He seems overwhelmed by both.
I'm not sure what bothers me more, the lies.
Hey, where you been?
The movies.
Any good?
Not really.
They never are.
Or the fact that he so readily believes them.
I'm in first, as always. Automatic upgrade. The free movie, the mixed nuts, the petite filet. The flight attendant refills my wine glass and smiles at me. One of the real ones, not for the first time. And in that instant, I think, I just want this plane to fly on.
and on and on. I'm in New York on Monday.
We never knew what it was. It was dismissed as the blues or mom being moody. She finally asked for a trial separation, some time to find herself. Dad agreed, assuming she'd come back. I think Mom did too. But then, according to her, she fell in love. At her age. I guess coming back was no longer an option.
Julia comes by to pick up the dog. Food, rest, and a bath have done wonders. She kneels down and the dog runs right up to her, licking her face. Yeah, he knows who his savior is.
He makes himself right at home. He is underfoot, constantly eats like a horse, and never says thank you. I name him Roger after Anne's ex-husband. But unlike Roger, she tells me, he always wags his tail whenever he sees her.
I get up this one morning and head down the hall to the bathroom, half asleep, right? And I get to the door and the door is locked. Only the door is never locked. And then the door opens and this girl comes out. And she's like wearing nothing but one of my dad's old button-down college shirts. And she like smiles.
Hi.
And then she heads down the hall into his room. Dad. Whoa.
Look at these. These are amazing.
What, you like them?
Like them. These are great. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, The Doors. These are timeless. These are classic. They're better now than they ever were.
They're yours.
What?
Well, they've only been in the attic gathering dust. They're yours if you want them.
Want them? I mean, I'd love them. I mean, I have no way to play them. What's so funny?
You're right, you don't. I don't. She's some gift. I don't even know if they make turntables anymore.
Well, they do, but who can afford them?
You know what? Forget the records. I'll just buy you the CDs.
You would, wouldn't you?
Sure, why not? Or the turntable, if you'd like.
Dan, you don't have to buy me things. That's not what I want from you. I want these.
Even if you can't play them?
I'll find a way. And on that note, I better get dressed.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about getting you undressed.
Ooh, I can't. I have rehearsal. But I'll be back.
What could I say? I mean, every time she looked at me, I could feel it all the way down to my toes. But it was more than that. See, towards the end of our marriage, Linda and I both realizing that we were losing one another, we went to see a counselor. Now, Linda had been unhappy for quite some time, and nothing seemed to make it any better.
What is it we love about each other?
Well, needless to say, I had a long and readily available list. I loved her humor.
My optimism.
The way that she
Until
never
recently.
let anything faze her. I loved her. Now, Linda's answer, on the other hand, surprised me.
I love the way Dan loves me. I love the way he refuses not to.
Frankly, I was hurt.
Oh, Dan, why?
Because it was almost as if you couldn't come up with anything better. I mean, what about my humor, my intelligence, my sex appeal? I mean, wasn't all of that at least worth a mention?
It was a given.
Linda, it was almost as if you were saying, you don't love me anymore. Some doors you open, you can never close them again. But in time, I came to realize that Linda's was not a wrong answer. You see, to say that you love the way someone loves you is to say, I love the way you make me feel about me. I love what I see in your eyes when you look at me. And that is what I had with Charlotte. I loved what I saw in her eyes when she looked at me. Coming!
Hi!
Julia! Hi!
I brought you your table.
My what?
From the estate sale. I probably should have called, but my moving guys were available for a few more hours, and I thought you'd like it.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, I was thinking about it right here in the entryway, but don't you think it would look really nice in the upstairs hallway?
No, I think that right here will be just fine.
Huh. I also brought along a couple of big pieces from the shop. Now, you're under no obligations. I want you to live with them, see if you like them. I'll have my people bring them in.
Julia, wait. I think now is probably not the best time. I'm just ready to go out.
It'll take just a moment.
Yeah, but I think it's best that I don't get attached to anything right now. At least, not until I'm ready to buy them.
I see. Well, Dan, do you still want the side table? Because I could return it.
Yes, of course I do. And I will, I'll come by the store to see the other things.
I probably should have.
Hello. I didn't know we had visitors. Great table. Hi.
Hello.
Julia. Yeah, this is my good friend Charlotte. Charlotte, this is my friend Julia. Julia's helping me furnish the house.
Really? I kind of like it the way it is.
Really? What is it you like?
I would say it has a sort of Zen-like simplicity.
Really? Well, I would say it has a sort of dorm-like simplicity.
Good. That was good. Well, I better get going. Thanks for a great night. Call me tomorrow. We'll pick up where we left off. Oh, and some of the kids are getting together for a barbecue tonight if you want to come.
Why don't we talk about that later?
No problem. Nice meeting you. Julia, was it?
Yes, and you. This is the someone you're sort of seeing?
Well, she works for the Internal Revenue Service.
Does she?
But she sings nice.
Multi-talented. You know what? You're right. This is not a good time for furniture.
Julia, wait. I really do appreciate you coming by.
It's really nice to be appreciated. Have fun barbecuing with the kids.
Okay, what did I do that was so wrong here?
Oh, for God's sakes, Dan. Do you really believe that a middle-aged woman is going to be impressed that you're dating a teenager?
Why not? I was.
Harold, I don't have to be nice to you anymore. Shut up!
Ow.
I mean, really, what is it with middle-aged men? They get divorced and suddenly they feel like they've been given a free hall pass to throw their aging libidos at women half their age?
Throw? Do you throw?
Well, not throw. Ow.
What's really upsetting is that by dating girls, you're both reinforcing the American cultural stereotype that says the only value women have is their sexual attractiveness. Something I don't want to pass on to our daughter, Dan.
Oh, come on, Linda. What are we supposed to want? Everywhere we look, it's this half-naked parade of youthful female flesh. It's all lips and breasts and bottoms going, take me now, before you shrivel up and die.
Shrivel? Are we talking about your brain, Harold, or your penis?
And another thing, younger women aren't as complicated as older women are. They haven't been pissed off the same way older women have. They like men. Dan, jump in.
Well, as a vet, I may point out that the male animal is biologically encoded to seek out a female who is of peak childbearing years.
There you see. Propagation of the species. For the male animal, completely natural.
So it's licking your balls. Andrea, would you please come over here? All right, sweetheart. Before Harold, you had a history of dating older men. What do you get out of it?
Well, I have expensive tastes and no job skills. I was mostly in it for the dinners, the gifts, and the money.
Yes, and?
Exclusively dating older men gave me social status, as well as financial and emotional security.
And?
I have unresolved sexual issues with my father.
Thank you. You can go play now.
You really know how to hurt a guy, Linda.
Why, thank you, Harold. I hope you were paying attention.
Oh, come on, Linda. This is Julia we're talking about. And just because a younger woman gets involved with an older man doesn't mean she has issues with her father. Yes, hello?
Dad, I'm involved with an older man. Dad, are you there? Daddy?
Yeah, he's how old?
Oh God. Ancient. Early 40s at least.
Is he married?
Oh, Daddy, I'm not that stupid. I feel like such a cliche as it is. He's divorced. And he's balding. And he dresses like he's either crazy or colorblind. And he has all the social grace of a robot. And if I even so much as let him hold my hand, he's so grateful. It's ridiculous. But he's a brilliant doctor. And he's funny and wonderful with the children. They love him. He wants to marry me. Daddy, I don't know what to do. This is not what I planned on.
And he's how old? But that was all I could think of to say. Hey, Dan, hey, where have you been all day?
Me and some of the guys took the mountain bikes up to Big Bear, did the lift lines.
Dan, your bike's in the garage. I saw it there this morning.
Yeah, I used someone else's.
Dan, your sister's upstairs, asleep.
Yeah, I saw her car.
Yeah, she wanted to chat a bit.
Who better than you, Dad? Can I go now?
Dan, you and we haven't spent a lot of time together this summer now, have we?
Nope. What's your point, Dad?
Well, is there anything that you wanted to chat about?
As a matter of fact, yeah. There really is. Dad?
Yes, Dan?
I'm not going to college in the fall.
Good talk.
Oh, God. Hey, puppy.
Oh, crap.
Harold, what's wrong? Ay, Dios mío. Harold.
Andrea, wait. Andrea, can you wait? All I said was, couldn't we do it quietly for a change? What's wrong with quiet?
I thought you liked it when I expressed my passion for you.
I do, it's just...
What?
Every night, you express your passion for me. And every night, I'm supposed to express my passion back to you. In multiple positions. Frankly, I'm starting to feel a little pressure here.
Harold, it negatively affects my self-image when you don't respond to me sexually.
Yeah, well, it negatively affects mine when I have to respond 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Oh, you have to? You have to?
No. All I'm saying is sometimes, not often, I'm not in the mood for gymnastics. As a matter of fact, there are times I'm not even in the mood for sex at all. No, I mean, wouldn't it be nice if we could just hold each other and talk every now and then?
All right, I'm listening. Talk. Fine, I'll talk. You lied to me, Harold. You lied. You go to bed at 8 o'clock and you wake up at 5, and half the time you don't even make it to bed. You fall asleep on the couch and you snore and you shiver and you fart like an old dog. I have to set a bomb on you just to get you to go out at night, and when we do, it's with your stupid friends because you don't like mine anymore. You don't like what I read, you don't like what I eat, you don't like what I think or say about anything. You just pretended to, Harold. Just to get into my pants, which is so much bullshit. Well, guess what? I don't like what you read, Harold. I don't like what you eat. I don't like what you have to say. And as a matter of fact, at this very moment, I don't really like you. Oh.
Andrea, we can try again, honey baby.
No. And this is fake.
What exactly are we looking for again?
I'm not sure, but we'll know it when we see it.
You know, I really could use a couch.
Dan, a couch is the least of your worries. Ooh, now this is a nice piece.
How much?
Too much. Let's keep looking.
Did I mention that Dan says that he no longer wants to go away to college in the fall?
Really? Why?
He says, and I quote, "I am really getting off on contracting work." This coming from a kid who needs a backhoe to get him out of bed in the weekday mornings.
He has a girlfriend.
He hasn't mentioned anything.
Trust me, when you're 18, going away to college can be the greatest tragedy of your life.
Was it?
Was what?
The greatest tragedy of your life.
Yes, it was.
Did I know him?
No.
Did he know?
He was oblivious.
He must have been crazy.
How's the youngster?
Oh, she's fine.
Must be exhausting.
Meaning?
Oh, she must keep you up at all hours.
Can we please just change the subject?
Of course. You know, I don't see anything here.
I really did like that couch.
Dan, what time do you have to be home?
Oh, any time? Why?
I have a few pieces at the shop that I think you'd like to see.
All right, we can swing by on the way back.
All right.
Should we pick up a bottle of wine?
Yeah. We could do that.
If you like pina coladas,
Hello?
get caught in the
Dan? Anyone home? Dan?
Charlotte?
Becca! Hi. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just barge in like that.
What are you doing here?
Is Dan around?
No, he went out. Why?
Has he mentioned me to you?
Should he have?
Maybe he should tell you.
Tell me what?
Okay. Back. Dan and I have been seeing one another. I know it sounds weird, but it's not. It's great. He is the most loving and giving man I have ever met in my life.
Oh, now I know you're kidding me.
No, he's wonderful. And it's about time he got involved in a serious relationship, don't you think?
Someday. Maybe.
He's really worried about what you'll think, Beck.
He is.
You sound surprised.
No, it's just he's never cared what I thought about anything.
Well, how can you say that? He adores you. He talks about you constantly. It would mean so much to him and me if you could support this.
Charlotte, you want to know the truth? I have my own problems. But hey, if you want to come in here and wait for him,
I would. Thanks.
How did you two even meet?
Oh, serendipity. I work for the IRS and he was audited.
Now I know you're not serious.
Oh, it wasn't his fault. He had an incompetent accountant. I guess your mother did all the returns in the past?
Returns? What are you talking about? My brother has never made $3,000 his entire life.
Your brother? I wasn't talking about your brother.
You said Dan. What other Dan is there? My father's. You're saying Dan, my father?
Yes.
You and my father are.
Do I detect a problem here?
No. No problem. Make yourself at home.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Where have you been?
I was out shopping. I bought a lamp, see? What are you doing here? Have you been here for a while?
Only about 2 hours.
Charlotte, you never called.
You were supposed to call me, remember?
And I was going to. I'm just running a little late, that's all.
Hey, decorating's a bitch. Sorry to interrupt your day.
Charlotte, what's the matter? What's going on here?
What do you think's the matter? I guess I'm fine to sleep with, but when it comes to spending quality time together, it's obvious there are other people you'd rather be with than me.
Well, are you talking about Julia?
No, I'm talking about the weatherman.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh, am I? Am I really?
Charlotte, she's an old friend.
Dan, friends don't just happen to stop by with furniture. Gee, and I thought I was impressive showing up with the six-pack. I'll tell you what. Why don't you ask her how she feels? Ask her if she thinks you're just friends.
You know what? I'm not going to insult her by doing that.
Okay. Well, then why don't you ask me how I feel? Go ahead. I'm in love with you, Dan. And that means I want to be the one you go shopping with. I want to be the one to say, hey, great table. Maybe it's a lousy table. Maybe I'm stupid. The point is, you have to want me around for the entire ride. Because I'm not interested in a short side trip. What am I even doing? I've never chased after anyone in my entire life. Forget it, Dan. Just forget it.
Charlotte, wait.
No.
Will you wait? Look, I'm the one who was stupid. Look, I wasn't thinking and I was being selfish. Don't go. Please, come in.
I better not. Someone wasn't too thrilled to see me.
What are you talking about?
Just call me, okay?
Oh my God, Rebecca. Rebecca! I wanted to tell you. Rebecca, I was going to tell you.
When? At the wedding? Gee, maybe Uncle Harold could be your best man.
Rebecca, no one is getting married.
No, of course not. Then you couldn't play the rest of the field.
Play the rest of the field? Now you're being silly.
I came to you for advice, Daddy. I might as well have gone to Rome for an unbiased opinion of Catholicism. Remind me to bring some friends home next time. You can date them as well. Or, better yet, we could trade. Maybe you have some friends I could sleep with?
Look, can we just please sit down and talk about this for once?
Why? Why should I believe anything you have to say? Why should I believe anyone, period? I have a mother who decides after 25 years of a happy marriage that she's a dyke.
No, wait, no, that's not fair.
A father who thinks he is Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, and that's even worse.
A brother who's big.
Whoa, what about your brother?
You'll find out soon enough. And I thought LA was insane. Remind me the next time I get nostalgic, not to come home for Christmas. Ugh.
Dan? Dan, are you upstairs? Dan!
Dad?
Dan, would you come down here for a minute, please?
Just hold on a sec.
I thought you said he wasn't going to be home.
He wasn't. He said he was going shopping.
Oh, what the hell was I thinking?
Dan!
Dad?
Dan, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Do you have someone upstairs?
No. Of course not.
It was, just that I heard voices.
Must have been a television.
Don't lie to me, Dan. That was not the television. Now, I thought we had an agreement. No girls in the house when I'm not here.
There are no girls in the house, Dad.
Huh. Whoever you are, please do not make me come up there.
Hi, Dan. Haven't seen you since the wedding.
Jesus Christ, Dan. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, it's not like he was completely disobeying you. I mean, I don't really qualify for a girl, now do I?
Do you think this is funny?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
Does Tom know?
Of course not.
Does anyone?
We've been very discreet.
Until today.
We fell asleep, I'm sorry.
It's my fault, Dad. It's just that I'm so crazy about her.
Dan, you're a kid.
No, I'm not, Dad. I'm not.
I can vouch for that.
Don't.
I mean, what's really bugging you here? Is it the age thing? It's less than with you and Charlotte.
Charlotte and I are not the same thing.
Why? It's because I'm the younger one. Oh, and she's the woman. Well, I think that's hypocritical bullshit, Dad.
That is not the reason.
What is it then? She's beautiful, she's sexy, and she's smart.
He's very easily impressed.
What's wrong with me being in love with her? What?
Tell him.
I'm married, Dan. I'm married.
So, what did you tell him?
I didn't know what to tell him.
What'd you tell her?
Who, Sarah?
Rebecca.
What am I supposed to tell either of them?
Well, you might start by mentioning to Rebecca that by the time she's 40, he'll be either impotent, incompetent, or dead.
Thanks, Harold. I'm gonna hang on to that one. Think that up all by yourself?
No, Andrea did. We've been fighting.
Care to talk about it?
Yeah, what's to talk about? Other than the fact that I am tired, hungry all the time, and desperate for decent conversation, things are peachy.
Glad you didn't want to talk about it.
Lately, I've been thinking a lot about Mimi.
Oh, how is Mimi?
She's dating her psychiatrist. Mimi had a doctorate in political science. She kept the house clean, did the shopping, cooked the meals. She raised 2 kids. And she taught 9 hours a week out at State on the side. And when I rolled over onto her in the middle of the night, she was warm, comfortable, she fit, and she liked it. And I left that, Dan. Why?
Because, Harold, you and Mimi, both of you, were unhappy.
Exactly. And you know why we were unhappy? It's because we were too comfortable. There were no thrills, no surprises. There was nothing left to learn. There gotta be thrills, Dan. There's gotta be.
Mind if I come in for a minute?
Sure.
I haven't caught you at a bad time, have I?
No, I was just looking for some catalogs. Come on in and have a seat. Can I get you anything?
No, thanks.
Dan, is everything all right?
Not really. You know, Julia, a funny thing happened the other day. I mean, not funny, really. Charlotte and I were talking, well, arguing, and it turns out that she is jealous of you.
Of me?
Yeah, I mean, it's silly, really, but you know, you and I have been spending all this time together lately, decorating. And she is convinced that you are more than just a friend. Or rather, I am more than just a friend to you.
I see.
Well, I told her that she was wrong, but I don't think she believes it. I think maybe you and I should take a little time off. I mean, at least until I figure out where I'm going with this.
Dan, do you remember when I told you that going away to college was the greatest tragedy of my life?
Yeah.
You asked me who it was that I left behind. It was you.
Me?
It's always been you.
God, Julia.
I know, I never could say anything. We were friends, we'd grown up together, and then I went away, and by the time I came back, you met Linda.
Julia, I didn't know.
Of course not, I didn't want you to. Although I must admit, when you and Linda, I thought things might be different. I guess not. Too late again. I hope that you will be very happy with her, Dan. I truly mean that. And I think that that uses up all the generosity of the spirit that I am capable of right now. If you don't mind, please let yourself out.
You knew.
The only person who didn't know was you.
Why didn't you tell me?
And when was I supposed to do that, Dan? Before the honeymoon or after the divorce?
You two were always so close.
I know. She made a point of it. I think it was her way of staying close to you.
God, I'm so stupid.
You have your moments.
How many times I must have hurt her.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I never meant to.
Of course you didn't. You know, Dan, this may be naive, but the only way I've been able to go on at times is by believing that the world is still filled with decent and understanding people. Sometimes they are clueless and hurtful, and they make mistakes, but that doesn't make them bad people, does it?
Is that what you think? That I'm making a mistake?
Why go for a used car when you can get a new one fresh off the lot?
Linda.
I can't say that you're making a mistake, Dan. Only you know that. In the end, it's all about love.
So I drove home and I had dinner with Charlotte, and we laughed and smiled as she talked about a million different things. We made love that night and held each other afterwards. Charlotte falling sweetly asleep in my arms, and apart from the little moments that intruded, Julia's voice, her face as she left the room, I felt certain that I had made the right choice. I mean, hadn't I? I mean, is it just me, or do we all get to a point in our lives where we are not certain about love anymore? We question love. We are afraid of love. We don't trust love. We remember all the times that love has disappointed us, embarrassed us. We know how easy it is for love to turn into other things. I mean, there are roads, right? A lot of them. And sometimes late at night when you're alone, or not, which can make matters even worse, the roads that you don't take, those are the ones that you think about and you worry that you are making a mistake. Yeah, okay, I was uncertain, but I didn't think that I was making a mistake. With Charlotte, how could I? But I was sure that someone else was. And so the next morning, with that on my mind, I jumped in my car and drove to Los Angeles to save my little girl from a fate worse than death. A man old enough to be her father.
Paging Dr. Eckler? Paging Dr. Eckler.
And then it hit me. My little girl was not a little girl anymore.
What are you doing here?
I was just in the neighborhood. I thought I'd drop in and chat.
I'm awfully busy.
This won't take long. How about a cup of coffee?
Daddy! What is it?
You came to me for advice a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't give you any.
Your reaction spoke volumes.
Yeah, well, your situation struck a little close to home, Dad.
Obviously. So what'd you come here to tell me? Do what I say and not what I do?
You judge people, Beck. You've done it your entire life, and if you're not careful, you are going to wind up alone.
At least I tell you how I feel about things. I don't know how you feel or think about anything anymore.
I feel that the world is filled with decent people. People trying to do the best that they can. Sometimes they make mistakes. In fact, when it comes to loving one another, sometimes they make a lot of mistakes. But that doesn't make them bad people, Beck, and that includes your mother, who has been hurt and punished long enough by the way you have been treating her.
How can you forgive her? How do you just forgive her when your entire marriage is a shame?
Yeah, well, it hasn't been easy, but it wasn't a sham. There was nothing that your mom wanted more than us, Beck, you, me, Dan. She wanted it so much that she spent half of her life pretending that she was something she wasn't. She couldn't anymore. But does that mean that she didn't love me? No. Does that mean I didn't love her? Oh, I did. I still do. Enough that I want her to be happy. And that's one of the things that it's all about, that caring for someone enough that you want them to be happy, even if you're not. This man that wants you to marry him, you've told me how old he is. What you didn't tell me, how do you feel about him?
What do you mean?
Oh, come on, Beck. Can you talk to one another? Do you like the same books, the same movies? Is the sex any good? I mean, do you laugh at the same jokes? Do you want the same things? If he wasn't in your life, would it hurt? Would you be able to replace him? Would you miss him? Because how young or old or thin or fat or gay or straight you are, it has nothing to do with all that. It's all about loving someone, sweetheart. It's all about the love. And that is what I think.
Well, I think, Daddy, that yes, I am in love with this man.
Then you have your answer. Well, it's not what I would have wished for her, but how could I tell her no?
you marry me?
No.
Will you wait for me?
No.
I love you.
No, you don't.
I do. I'll always love you. Always.
Sarah, I'm home. What's for dinner? Sarah? What the hell are you doing on the floor?
Nothing, just sitting.
What's that?
This? It's a pregnancy test.
A what?
A pregnancy test. I'm pregnant, Tom.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but you and I, we haven't,
No kidding. I think you and I need to talk.
It's almost over. Charlotte's house that night after driving back from Los Angeles. She was on the front lawn playing tag with a group of the neighborhood kids.
Dad, hurry! Run! Hey, look, it's Charlotte's dad! Hi, Charlotte's dad! Hi.
I'm not sure who was enjoying the game more, Charlotte or the kids.
Hey, you want to play?
Yeah, I don't know. That looks like a pretty rough crowd to me.
No, those are my guys. And this is my guy.
Bye, Charlotte! Bye, Charlotte's dad! Bye. How old do you think he is? Oh, like a dinosaur. Yeah.
How was your day? You put anyone away for 20 years?
Oh, actually, I quit my job today.
What? You're kidding. Why?
Well, this is kind of sudden, but the band, they decided they really wanted to do this tour thing, and Cliff, our bassist, just came into some family money, and everyone thinks the time is now. And, well, I agree with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. It's what you wanted.
It is. It really is. I mean, it's gonna be so great. Hey, you want a glass of wine? I went out and got the good stuff, not to mention 2 very nice wine glasses. I also have both the recipes and ingredients for fettuccine alfredo, salmon and dill sauce, and a spinach and mushroom quiche. That is, if you're hungry. See, I can be taught.
Charlotte, what about us?
Dan, you really are the most wonderful man.
And you're breaking up with me.
Well, I hadn't really meant to. Not tonight. But, yes.
I don't understand. I mean, you said...
Oh, I do! Dan, I do love you. It's just, I can't help but feel that my whole life is sort of in front of me, you know? I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot the last couple of days, and I think, as much as I want to, if I stayed with you, and let's say we got married or something, what if 10 or 15 years from now, I look back at all the things I'd missed, like the opportunities or like the friends.
Children?
Well, I'm not ready yet, but I know I will be someday. Will you?
Been there, done that.
See, I think I knew that. And what if the time came and we got to that place and I started blaming you? I never want to feel that way about you, Dan. Never you.
No, of course not. And you're right, you have places in your life to visit that I have no desire to go back to.
Dan, we can still have tonight.
You know, as much as I would love to, I don't think I could do that. They would take away from the nights that we have had, which I will never forget. Oh, I am going to miss you.
Oh God, I hope I'm not making a terrible mistake.
You're not.
Thank you.
No. Thank you.
Dan, you know that woman, Julia? She really likes you.
Well, I guess I better get on board. Mom?
You call me when you get to DC.
See you back.
I'll see you at Thanksgiving.
Just make sure you let Dad cook the turkey. Dad?
Son, are you sure you want to make this trip all by yourself?
That's the easy part. This is the hard part.
You take care of yourself.
Oh, I gotta do something before I turn into a puddle of goo.
Would you like to go shopping?
Yes. Yes, I'd love to.
And we could get lunch.
Oh, yes, of course we can. Dan?
No. No, you two go. I'll wait for the plane to take off and just head home.
You come see me and Janet whenever you get lonely.
You count on it.
Now, I want to hear all about Walter.
Oh, Mom, he's so great.
And then he was gone too. That little boy that I carried on my shoulders. The little boy that I played catch with in the backyard. The little boy who would run up the drive and leap into my arms when I got home at night.
Hey, look, it's Charlotte's dad! Hi, Charlotte's dad!
Gone.
Hi, Dan. I was sitting over there when I saw you all come in. I didn't want to intrude. Okay, well, actually, I did want to intrude very, very much, but showed a little restraint this time.
Going somewhere?
Yeah, Seattle.
Business?
No, my sister lives there. I'm gonna be staying with her for a while. Tom and I are getting a divorce.
Found out?
No, I told him, but that was just a symptom. Certainly not the cause. It's gonna be lonely for you now, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Me too. For a little while.
Delta Flight 237 to Seattle, now boarding.
That's me. Dan?
Yeah?
Maybe I'll be in touch.
Yeah. It was just one more thing that I needed to do. Now, I've been putting it off for a while because at first I wasn't quite ready. And then I wasn't really sure if I was ready, but I had to try.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter.
We are closed for today.
Hello, Julia.
Dan?
I was just driving by, saw you through the window, thought I'd drop in and say hi.
I've been working in the back all afternoon.
Well, I drove by yesterday,
Oh.
but it took me a while to find a parking place.
The rumor has it you're no longer seeing the young girlfriend.
Yeah, it's been about a month now.
So what does that make me, the first alternate?
Sorry you feel that way, Julia.
I'm sorry, that was beneath me. Still, this is what this feels like. You struck out with your first choice and now you come looking for me, and I am no one's second choice.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. The minute that it ended with Charlotte, I knew that I had handled things badly, and I wanted to come here, but I knew that if I came too soon, you would think that I was settled, which you do. And I didn't want that because you're right, you are no one's second choice. But I also knew that if I waited too long, it would be too late. You would find someone else, or they would find you, and I would lose any chance that I ever had.
To do what?
To ask you one more question.
Which is?
If I were to tell you that I wanted our friendship to become more than just a friendship, what would you say?
Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Yes, very much so.
I don't know what I would say. I don't know if I need this or want this. I just don't know.
Okay. Let me try another approach. When is the last time you were kissed?
13 months ago.
Really?
Yes. I was dating a very nice lawyer from San Francisco.
A lawyer?
Yes. Didn't work out.
A lawyer?
Yes. And guess what, Dan? He was 30 years old. There are a lot of things you don't know about me, Dan.
True, but still, 13 months, that's a long time.
What are you doing?
Don't worry, it's like riding a bike.
That was like kissing your brother.
Ugh. Or relearning a language.
That was a little bit better.
Or jumping into deep water.
Oh, stop.
It could work out.
Yeah, we'll see, won't we?
Thrills. You gotta have them. Sometimes they can be found in the most unlikely places. So to answer the question of the evening, yes, most of us, at least the people that I know, do get to a point in our lives where we are not certain about love anymore. We've been hurt by love, diminished by love, made fools for love, and yet somehow we soldier on. We never learn. And why should we, right? I mean, the alternative, living without love, is simply not an alternative at all. And guess what? There was another wedding the following year. And guess what again? I had fun at this one. My daughter, Rebecca, married a good man, Walter Hogan. Her mother cried, and so did I. Dan Jr. was one of the ushers again. He's doing pretty well at Georgetown. Oh, and we even convinced Sarah to come down all the way from Seattle, and Dan got to meet his son for the very first time. Yeah, the little guy immediately peed on him and laughed while doing it. We don't know where that's heading. We're not sure what to hope for. Oh, and we even got a wedding present from as far off as England, where Charlotte and the band are trying to crack the top 10. She's involved with Cliff, the bassist. We don't keep in touch much, but and there's really no reason why we should. All right, I lied. I am crazy about weddings. I am crazy for any occasion that brings together the people that I love. Now, as I've grown older and the hours pass more quickly, what's important to me is spending time with the people I love. And if I have my way, we'll be doing this all again very soon. She might not have a choice. Guess who caught the wedding bouquet?